Marvin, your first game in charge, what's your thoughts after that one today?
Obviously, ends in defeat. Just said to the boys now, the goal that we've conceded is unacceptable. I don't mind teams opening us up and scoring a great goal, but the defending there, everything we've spoken about kind of in the week, we've allowed to happen there, and then the ball ends up in the back of our net. There's some harsh realities for boys, and we need to learn very, very quickly. Again, it's not just on one individual, but that goal will not be accepted with me as the manager of the football club.
There's a few times this season that has been the issue, that there's fine margins in football and things like that you just can't accept.
Yeah, exactly. And if you keep falling on the wrong side of these fine margins, then something needs to change. Obviously the manager's changed, and if the same sort of goals are going in, then maybe it's the players that need to be changed. I've got a lot of time for absolutely everybody. We've worked hard during the week, and as I said, it's just not on one individual. He's held his hands up as soon as he's gone in there, and that's what you can ask for as accountability. But we need to learn from these mistakes, as individuals and as a team. And we will learn. We've got a big 2 weeks ahead of us now where we'll train hard. But as I said, I'm bitterly disappointed because I think in the main, the boys did enough to take at least a point away from the game. And it's not just about the goals we've conceded. At the other end, obviously Toddy's missed a penalty. We've missed some gilt edge chances that should end up in the back of the net, and on another day, you could score 3 goals here today, but we haven't. We've lost 1-0. We deal with the harsh realities, and we move forward from there.
It's about being ruthless at both ends of the park, isn't it?
Yeah, I spoke about it before the game. Being ruthless in both boxes, and as I said, we didn't show that with that goal. We know what we needed to do. We've worked on it, as I said, all week, and then we haven't done it today, and the ball ends up in the back of our net. So we have to learn. Has to learn very, very quickly. Also at the top end, we need to put our chances in the back of the net. If you don't defend your box for 90 minutes and you don't take chances at the other end, you're never going to win games of football. So as I said, we'll work hard during the week, or in the next 2 weeks, and we'll move forward from here.
You have got that 2-week break. Have you identified the areas that you really need to work on? Yeah,
of course. I've watched more than enough games to know what we need to work on. And as I said, the boys implemented some of those things on Tuesday. Also today, they've implemented some of those things, but the harsh reality of football is if you make mistakes in your box when you're defending, then you're going to concede goals. And as I said, we could get him out of a hole, to be honest, as a team, because we can score at the other end. He scored 2 or 3 goals and things are a lot different. But we haven't done that today. We've got a 1-0 defeat. We need to lick our wounds, and then we need to be in for Monday ready to train.
You said during the week that you wanted a performance. That is not the performance that you wanted.
No, listen, there were some positives from the game. As I said, we're creating chances. Some of the play up until kind of the last little bit was good also. So there is some positive to take from the game. But right now for me, the thing that's frustrated me is the goal that we've conceded. Because how many times have they been up there? How many saves has Kev had to make? Not a lot. Their goalkeeper would have been busier than ours. I expect. I've not seen the stats, but I expect that from obviously watching the game. So there is some positives, It's not all doom and gloom, but as I said, you have to be ruthless in both boxes, and if you don't do that, you're not going to win games of football.
You talked there about Kevin coming in and also Jack, 2 of them making the debut today. You're relatively happy with the way they performed? Yeah,
I was. Listen, they both get better. The more they get used to us, they'll both definitely get better. As I said, Kev didn't have a lot to do. Jack's obviously came into the club. He's 18 years of age. There's massive potential in him, and we'll get him up to speed in the next 2 weeks as well. But in terms of debuts, they're both solid performances. There were a few other solid performances, throughout our team today. But we've got no points, so that's not the important thing for me. The important thing for me is put points on the board, and we haven't done that today.
2 in so far. You obviously looking to bring in a few more new faces.
We're always looking. Whilst the window's open, we'll always be looking. But whilst we have the players that we have in this dressing room, we need to make ourselves better. And there are some very good players in there, by the way. It's not just about bringing players in all the time. There's coaching to be done as well, so that falls upon me and my staff. But there's some very, very good players in there, and they'll get better, and they'll get used to the way we want to play, and the performances will get better. Regardless of us bringing players in or not.
Max Curry left today as well. So you're looking maybe some more going out as well, or?
Yeah. The squad is quite big, so there'll be some loans and maybe some permanents during this kind of window. Obviously, Max has gone to East Kilbride, so that's one player out so far. But as I said, we'll keep assessing the squad over the rest of January, and if we need to get players kind of out the door, then we'll do so. And if we need to bring players in, then again we'll also do so. But in the meantime, it's about coaching. It's about coaching and getting the players well structured and well drilled, and kind of almost stamp out these mistakes that we are making, and that will happen. And as I said, the players go in there and they've held their hands up and they've held themselves accountable for it, and that's all I can ask. That we learn from these things. But as I said, we have to learn very, very quickly.
2 weeks hard work ahead of you before the next one.
Yep, a lot of hard work to be put in, and we will do that. We know we need to work on, and we'll work on it again starting from Monday. So it'll be 2 weeks of hard work, and then obviously our next game is an away one. So then we'll deal with that when that comes. But there's a lot of coaching and a lot of training sessions to be done between now and then, and that's what we'll be concentrating on now.